what, Speedball? Not Speedball. Is that Speedball? I think that's her name. Do not like her at all. Thought that was a dumb thing they brought from Brand New Day. Marcos Martin, very classic Spider-Man art feel to his work. Love him too. Mike McCone. I was first introduced to him on the Teen Titans book, but I love his artwork too. Kraven's First Hunt. At this point, Kraven is dead. This is his daughter, I believe. Yeah, his daughter. New Ways to Die, the introduction of Anti-Venom. I really liked this story for Eddie too. I liked Anti-Venom. You know, someone who can cure Spider-Man and symbiotes and, you know, messes with their powers. But he wasn't a villain. He was like a good guy. But, like, still they fought because, again, he's like, oh, I can heal you, Spider-Man. He's like, I don't want to be healed. Why don't you focus on other things? Zombie variant, I think that's cool. I believe this is Flash loses his legs, becomes Ancient Venom. Punisher, love that cover. So most of these covers are pretty simple going forward. Not saying they're bad, just they're not like, you know, Return to the Spot. There's his hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just simple. 590. 2 copies of that for some reason. Quesada cover. I think that's Quesada. Yeah, Quesada. This is one of my favorite stories too, The Dark Reign. Peter goes, or Norman Osborn has his new Avengers team, which this is Dakin as Wolverine, Bullseye as Hawkeye, forget who Miss Marvel is, or Captain Marvel. And Spider-Man, like, he has to go infiltrate Norman Osborn's new Avengers, and that cover always gives me the creeps. And he has to pose as Venom. And Harry, Norman wants Harry to become the American Son, part of his team, because Norman's the Iron Patriot. 600. Love that cover. Alex Ross variant. the John Romita Sr. variant. Then the Joe Quesada variant. $601, and you're not misreading. I actually did pay $5 for that. This was in my local comic book store that I go to every Wednesday. He didn't have this book forever, and again, this was a couple summers ago. All of a sudden, he had 5 of them, all in his book. I only took one. I was like, no, I'll be nice. I only need one for the collection. I'll do that, and paid $5. Literally, I don't think they even lasted a week. They were gone after that. So I do kind of wish I would have picked up at least one more, but oh well. I have one for the collection. That's all that matters. I think that is that a kind of looks like a Mayhew cover. I can't tell who that is. Black Hat, Campbell covers. These go for a pretty good few bucks too. Addy Gradnoff, love his artwork too. So many good artists out there. I wish just they would stay on certain books. Scotty Young, do not like Scotty Young. I don't like his art. I know he does like a lot of the like more baby-fied photos. That was another thing. When I first started collecting, especially Spider-Man, I'd look at the cover and be like, okay, this is beautiful, but the interior's nothing like it. And I know for these few issues in particular, maybe not this one, I think this goes back to, maybe. Like, the artwork's really cool, then the inside's just crap. That's cool. This was a pretty good story. This is what, for me, made Mysterio cool, because I never really cared about Mysterio. I like this story, though. And he's going to be in the new movie, but he's like from an alternate dimension and crap. So I don't think they're going to do him right. Mr. Negative. I actually really like Mr. Negative. I think his story is really cool. I like his Demon Gang. I think he's a really cool addition to Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. This story, I think, this is where Connor's, like, lizard form, like, evolves. And, again, despite the art, I actually did like that story because I'm pretty sure that's the story where Connors kills his son Billy. I mean, he was in lizard form, but he still kills him. And that was one where, like, I was actually kind of shocked at because, you know, with like children stuff, like video games, comic books, they are very ginger with death with kids and things. So I was really surprised that they actually did that. I mean, he comes back, obviously. I mean, it's Marvel, but at the time, he was dead. Paulo Rivera, love his work too. Man, so many people I forgot about, artist-wise. These are like connecting covers, these next few. Big time. This is where Dan Slott officially takes over as the long-going writer, and where Humberto Ramos becomes one of the main artists. Do not like Ramos' art either. It's too, his proportions are weird to me. And again, it's too cartoony. Again, look at that. Look at this artwork here. How beautiful it looks, and then it's like the inside's like completely goofy and it's not like the cover, which I think it should be. I think the interior artist should also do the cover, so you know like what to expect in the book, art-wise. Now, granted, Spider-Man's a book I'll never stop collecting, so I mean, no matter how bad it gets, I'll always read Spider-Man. Lately, it's been good. Feels like it's, not like, I don't know, not anticlimactic, but it's a little, like, I'm not sure how to explain it. Get towards the back here. Pull this out. Frank Cho cover. Love Frank Cho artwork. Loved his Harley Quinn variants he was doing. I love his Spider-Man too. I really love his art in the Marvel Knights Spider-Man. He doesn't do a lot of issues, but Spider Island. Again, love this story, despite the Ramos artwork. That's another thing. This story, the prelude, or like the part 1 or whatever, starts off with Caselli artwork, and it's beautiful. And then literally the next issue is Ramos. And I'm like, why did you even have Caselli do an issue if you're just going to have him not do the rest? I don't know. The comic industry, man, I tell you. Although, I always thought it'd be fun. I do like to write. I always thought it'd be fun to write for comics, especially Marvel. I would love to write Spider-Man, but I think that's maybe for better hands than mine to do. I'd also love to get a shot at Iron Man. Love to write either of those, but for now, I'll just settle for being a reading fan. It's the Earth. Morbius. I guess he's getting his own movie now, which is another thing. I don't get how they're going to be doing this movie universe over at Sony without Spider-Man. I know there's a rumor now that he's like going to jump over or something, crossover, but I don't get it. I don't know how you can possibly make, like, they made Venom without Spider-Man. And I know a lot of people can be like, oh, well, the Ultimate version, Spider-Man wasn't involved in his creation at all. It's like, I realize that, but, like, he's still connected to Peter. Peter still wears the suit. All that type of stuff. And to me, like, mainstream story, like, mainstream origins, because I think, if you're going to do a comic book movie or an adaptation, read the source material. Read it till you know it front and back. You know, I don't know. Just, I think the closer you are to the books, the better. Because the books already did it once, and they were great. Or, you know, like, if you're going to do an origin movie, like, let's say Spider-Man, for instance. Ultimate Spider-Man. It's all you need right there for a modern story. Like, to tell a modern, like, superhero story. The Flash TV show, what they did with that. Perfect. Batman Begins, like, just, it's, you know what I mean, like, it can be done. I've seen it be done. It's just, I don't know. Certain characters, it's like they don't even care, or, I got 2 of those. $700. I think I have 2 copies of the main issue. This beautiful Martin variant. Another Martin variant, the New Year's Eve. What is this? 3rd print, something like that. Amazing Spider-Man 1 cover homage. 4th print, the Spider-Man 400 homage. 700, the Amazing Spider-Man 600 variant homage. Then this gets into where, like, the stories kept going. These are like 700.1, 2, and 3. Still, I think they did this to, like, please readers. Like, oh, hey, there's still stories we can do with Peter. Like, he's dead and it's Superior Spider-Man. Which I think was the best thing Dan Slott ever did with the book. Was Superior Spider-Man. Brian Hitch variant. Also, going forward, you're probably going to see a lot of variants. I am a huge variant guy, which sometimes is bad. But, blank cover. I mean, hey, if it looks good, I'm going to grab it, right? Love that. That one's really good, too. Black and white version. Okay, on to box number 3. I wasn't really sure where to put this, so this is from my last con haul. It's number 7, the Mexico version, but I don't know which issue 7 it is, and I don't want to take it out and open it, because it's already, like, snow white. I don't want to mess with the cover at all. Campbell cover, another Campbell cover, John Romita Sr. variant. Martin variant, love that. I think this one is Ed McGuinness. I love that, it's just like blue background. I'm swinging. Pope Mahan, or however you say it, cover. Learning to Crawl. Remember when I was talking earlier about, like, retconning origins and, like, going back and doing stuff? This is, like, the one exception I have for that rule. I really love this story. The Learning to Crawl story. It gave us Clash as a villain, who is that guy. He deals with Sonics, and here, that's his variant cover. I don't know, I just think he's really cool. I really like his not power set, but like his, his abilities. So I'm okay with this one because, again, I think he's really cool. I like his suit. Ramos art. Four for Cindy Moon as Silk. Black Cat when she decided she was going to be all evil. Edge of Spider-Verse. I remember this when it first came out. I really loved it. The Spider-Verse. Got to see Spider-Girl. Early 2000s. A little nostalgia. Ryan Otley variant. Yeah, I really enjoyed Spider-Verse. That was a really good story. I mean, I always liked, is it Morlun, however the hell you say it. I always liked him as a character and a villain. Also, one of my favorite lines comes from the book where he first appears and Peter's fighting him, and Morlun, again, however you say it, punches Peter right in the face. That's him right there. And Peter, flies back into a car and, dents the car in with his body. And he's like, I've been hit by the Hulk. I've been hit by Thor. I've been, all kinds of stuff. I've been hit by this. I've been hit by that. He goes, that hit felt like nothing I've ever been hit by before. And for the first time in my life, I can't even think of a joke to come back with because nothing's funny anymore. And I just, I don't know. Love that line. Greg Land artwork. I love Greg Land art. I know a lot of people say he just traces. Some of his inspiration might be a little unconventional, or maybe not even inspiration, like just the tracing he does. But I really like his artwork. Nick Bradshaw, I think he's very underrated. Annual 1. Oh, look, I have the annuals and the specials in the back this time. Renew Your Vows. This was a mini-series. Blank. This isn't part of the main title. This was during the Secret Wars event. Go through these. That's a cool cover. I really like that one too. Bradshaw variant. And this is when they relaunched the book. Continued to do the stories. I didn't get all of that. Spider Island. Okay, back to the Amazing. Okay. This was the, Peter Parker becomes like the poor man's Tony Stark. I know everyone called it. I really like this run. I liked this costume, minus the fact that the spider glows green. Like, what the hell? Like, why is it in his eyes? If I would have been fine with the costume as it stood without the green adding. Like, I was fine with the boots. I was fine with the gloves, the mask, the web lines. I like that spider design. I don't know why, I just really do. But, like, you didn't need to... And I love the back spider he has. Like, you didn't need to... I don't know. I don't even know where I got this Ramos variant. I think it was cheap at the time. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the constant moving. Campbell 1.1 series, which was kind of weird. Variant. Back to the main title. Alex Ross did all of these covers, which his art is fantastic. We did all of the main covers. Do I have... Oh no, thought those were doubles. Mr. Negative. Oh, I really like this variant. This is... Is this the Mike Mayhew variant? I think it is. This is at the time where, I mean, it's making fun of where the J. Scott Campbell cover, where she wore that shirt. Now she's wearing Iron Man because she's, like, with Iron Man now. Mary Jane at this point in the comics. Really like this suit, too, the Apocalypse suit. Wish she would have worn that at one point. Iron Man. This was kind of a cool villain, the Regent. He was, he could, like, take other people's powers. Clone Conspiracy, Dead No More. Again, really loved this story, too. And also brought back Doc Ock right there. So I was really happy with this story. And again, it's just another thing to screw with Peter's mind. I know a lot of people didn't like it. But it brought Ben Reilly back, too, even though he was like a bad guy now. A little crazy. I don't know, I really liked it. Delato. Forget when I bought that. I think it was on eBay. The Clone Conspiracy, Dead No More. Now, technically this is its own, like, series, but it was a complete tie-in to the Amazing Spider-Man book. Then the Omega. It just, like, tells you what happened after. 24. 25, the official return of Norman Osborn. To the book. Loved this story, too. I mean, again, like I said, Norman Osborn's probably my favorite villain. This right here, this book, it was not a comic book variant. It says variant edition. This was, you could only buy it through, there's packs at Walmart where they have like 3 comics in a bag for like $5, and you had to get it out of there. So that's how I got that. The Superior Octopus. Really liked that too. I liked Doc Ock and working for Hydra. Dead Rising. Love that game. This one, the Legacy numbering took over. This, I think, was probably one of the weirdest romance choices for Peter Parker Mockingbird. I don't know. And then they ended it so quickly, them dating. Venom Ink. Love that variant. And the only, like, when I think love interests for Spider-Man, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, Black Cat, but I don't love Black Cat as a character, really. And Carly Cooper. I really like Carly Cooper. Threat Level Red. This is the beginning of the Red Goblin storyline. Norman gets back to normal. And gets the Carnage symbiote. Goblin design. I didn't get why he had a tail, but Kirkman variant. think also one of my favorite moments from this story was Peter's fighting the Green Goblin. Like, he's just fighting the Green Goblin, and all of a sudden he like pulls out the Carnage symbiote and turns into this, and he's like, any last words? And Peter's like, okay, Green Goblin fueled, you know, with the green serum, and now also infused with the Carnage symbiote. He goes, say something. And all he goes is, fuck me. Because, oh my god. It's so funny. Because, like, look at that monstrosity. What are you going to do to fight that? As bombs talk and, like, obviously they explode. But it's insanity. 800. Rank Cho variant, Delato variant, Blank variant, Bagley variant, forget the artist, Joan Romita, Gwen, had to get that, it's Gwen, my girl, Terry Dotson, Paulo Rivera, Greg Land, can't remember, I think it's a Cassidy variant, Nick Bradshaw, Mobius, I think is that's called, Adam Hughes, the Connecting Ramos variant, 801, the 801 Midtown J. Scott Campbell variant, 801 Connecting, 801 Mary Jane and Gwen card variant, 42 Annual, the Free Comic Book Day Amazing Spider-Man. This is showing, you know, Otley's new take to the run. Okay. Close that. Alright, on to the last box. Alright, let me put you guys